ever think about what happens to your trash
Right.
after it leaves the curb?
Right.
It's a whole hidden world out there.
Yeah.
Logistics, regulations,
Yeah.
and, surprisingly, maybe some opportunities too.
Absolutely.
You've sent us a ton of info about waste brokers,
Mhm.
and it sounds like you're ready to really go beyond the bin, so to speak.
We're going to dive deep into this career path. Figure out what it takes to really make it as a waste broker.
Because that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's way more than just like picking up garbage. When I hear waste broker, I'm picturing someone in, I don't know, like a hard hat, negotiating landfill fees.
Right.
Not exactly,
Yeah.
like the matchmaking business.
That's a common misconception that people have. Waste brokers are really they're like the air traffic controllers of garbage. They connect businesses with the right disposal solutions, and they're making sure that everything runs smoothly, sustainably.
Okay, I like that. Air traffic control for trash.
Yeah,
That at least speaks to the complexity
exactly.
and like the importance of this whole role.
For sure.
Yeah.
And since we're talking about complexity, maybe we should unpack the career path itself.
Okay.
The RoleCatcher guide that you sent over, it
Right.
paints an interesting picture. One with some serious earning potential, but then also some potential downsides as well.
Right, because no job is all sunshine and roses,
Right.
even if you are passionate about sustainability. Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk money first. What kind of earning potential are we actually looking at here?
Well, according to RoleCatcher, experienced waste brokers, they can pull in a six-figure salary,
Ooh, not bad at all.
which is not bad at all.
And I imagine with, this growing focus on sustainability, the demand for these professionals,
Yeah.
it's only going to increase, right?
It is. It is. But as with any career, there are trade-offs.
Okay.
The guide also highlights just how competitive this field is. You're constantly vying for contracts, you're managing client expectations, and you always have to stay on top of all the latest industry trends.
So it sounds like you need a pretty diverse skill set
Yeah.
to really thrive in an environment like that. What are some of the key skills that stood out to you from the RoleCatcher guide?
Well, you have to have strong communication skills.
Oh, yeah?
That's crucial because remember, you're the liaison between the clients, the disposal facilities, even regulatory agencies.
So you're not just talking about being good on the phone. You're talking about
Yeah.
building relationships, smoothing out bumps in the road, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You also need sharp negotiation skills
Okay.
if you want to secure the best deals for all your clients.
Makes sense.
And a good head for numbers is really important too.
Okay.
So that you can analyze waste streams
Okay.
and develop solutions that are actually cost effective.
Waste streams. Is it like industry jargon for just like different categories of trash?
It is. It is. Think of it this way. A business, it doesn't just generate one type of waste.
Yeah.
You've got paper, plastics, food waste, sometimes even hazardous
Yeah.
materials.
All right.
Each of those has its own disposal pathway.
Okay.
And a waste broker needs to be an expert in navigating all those different pathways.
So it's almost like being a waste detective.
Yeah.
You're analyzing all the evidence,
Yes.
figuring out the most responsible
Right.
and cost-effective way to handle it.
Love that, waste detective.
Uh-huh.
That really captures it. And of course, no detective worth their salt goes in blind. You'll need a solid understanding of all those environmental regulations as well.
Right. Because we can't forget about the whole sustainability
Exactly.
aspect of this. It's not just about like getting rid of trash.
No.
It's about doing it in a way that protects the planet. Right.
Exactly. And that's where a deep understanding of all those local, state, and even federal regulations really comes into play. A good waste broker needs to be on top of all of it. Permitting requirements, disposal guidelines, you name it.
Speaking of like the whole 9 yards,
Hmm.
the RoleCatcher guide also mentioned these different experience levels within the field.
Mm-hmm.
Where do most people start out on their waste broker journey?
Most start out at the entry level, sort of assisting the more seasoned
Okay.
waste brokers.
So it's like an apprenticeship type of thing?
Yeah, it's like the apprenticeship phase. That's where you're
Mhm.
going to build all those really important
Oh, no.
foundational skills.
Like sorting through like trash mountains?
Right.
I'm picturing a very hands-on.
It can be hands-on.
That's fun.
but not in the way that you might think. At this stage, it's more about research and data entry and really just like learning the ropes from the ground up. You might find yourself like scouring for potential vendors,
Okay.
crunching numbers on waste audits,
Right.
maybe even doing some cold calling
Right.
to potential clients.
So it's a good mix of like desk work and client interaction.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of like a crash course in the waste management class.
And as you prove yourself, you'll start taking on more responsibility.
Okay.
The RoleCatcher Guide referred to this as the junior broker stage.
Okay, so we're moving up the waste ladder, so to speak. What does that
Yes,
next level actually entail?
This is where you really start flexing those relationship building muscles.
Okay.
You'll be more involved in client meetings. You'll be really understanding their unique needs and tailoring solutions to them. Think of it as consultative selling, but with a sustainability twist.
So you're not just selling a service, you're selling like a partnership,
Right.
a way for businesses to
Exactly.
reduce their environmental impact, but then also save money at the same time.
Yes, precisely. You'll also be honing in on those negotiation skills. You're going to be hammering out contracts with all these different disposal facilities to get the best possible rate for your clients. And then, of course, you're going to be keeping a close eye on all those ever-changing environmental regulations.
So it's a delicate balancing act,
It is.
keeping the clients happy, the disposal companies on board, and Mother Nature off your back.
You got it. It is very challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Now, once you've mastered the art of the deal and you've earned your stripes, you might find yourself at the top rung, the senior waste breaker.
The top dog of trash.
That's right.
This is where the big bucks come in, as strategic thinking. Right?
It does. It does. As a senior broker, you're more than just a matchmaker at that point. You're a visionary, you're a leader, you're like a champion for sustainability. You're going to be developing long-term waste management strategies for clients, helping them to implement, all sorts of eco-friendly practices, and then maybe even advising them on investments in like cutting-edge technologies.
Like those waste energy plants that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where this whole industry gets
Yes.
really exciting, right?
Well,
Turning trash into treasure, so to speak.
It is. It's a rapidly growing sector. Imagine being at the forefront of that, helping businesses transition from these linear, make, dispose models to these closed loop systems where the waste is seen as a valuable resource.
Talk about a career with a purpose.
I know.
But let's back up a bit, because
Yeah.
you mentioned waste to energy plants. I think we need to break that down a little bit.
Right.
For all our listeners who might not be
Yeah.
familiar with the concept.
It's easy to get caught up in the jargon.
Yeah.
Essentially, waste-to-energy technologies, they're converting non-recyclable waste into usable forms of energy, like electricity or heat.
So instead of burying our garbage in a landfill,
Right.
we're using it to power our homes and businesses.
Yeah.
That sounds like something out of a science fiction novel.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's becoming increasingly common. And there are a lot of different technologies out there, each with their own pros and cons. One example would be anaerobic digestion, and that uses microorganisms to break down organic waste and produce what's called biogas.
Biogas, that's like renewable natural gas. Right.
Exactly. And then you've got technologies like plasma gasification, which uses extremely high temperatures to basically break down the waste on a molecular level.
Wow.
And that produces what's called syngas, which you can use to generate electricity.
Plasma gasification.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's pretty amazing.
very high tech. It's amazing to think that these solutions are being like developed and implemented
I know.
like as we speak, right?
It's incredible. And it just goes to show how fast the pace of innovation is within this industry.
Yeah.
And for waste brokers, staying ahead of the curve on these technologies, that's essential.
Especially if you want to guide your clients toward the most sustainable and cost-effective solutions.
Exactly.
It's not just about knowing where to dump the trash anymore.
No.
It's about understanding like the full life cycle of waste.
Yes.
And how to get the most value from it.
Precisely. Speaking of maximizing value, maybe we should circle back to those AI-powered job hunting tools that you were talking about earlier.
Okay. Yeah, we touched
They play an interesting role in this as well.
RoleCatcher's AI features earlier, but I'm keen to kind of like dive a little deeper into
Yeah, let's do it.
how can those tools help someone to break into this whole competitive world of waste brokerage?
Well, just imagine having like a personal career coach right in your pocket. That's essentially what these AI tools offer. They can actually analyze those job descriptions with laser precision, identifying the exact skills and experience that these employers are looking for.
So no more second guessing whether or not your resume is actually a
Fitting a
good fit for
salary
a
into this.
particular role.
Right.
You're getting like data-driven insights
Yes,
to help tailor your application.
precisely. They can even analyze your resume, compare it to the job description, and highlight areas where you really shine
Oh, wow.
and where you might need to beef things up a little.
It's like having an objective eye on your qualifications. No more just relying on gut feeling or just generic advice.
Exactly. And the best part is these tools don't stop at the application. They can actually even help you prepare for interviews.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So some platforms will actually let you record yourself answering common interview questions.
Oh, wow.
And their AI algorithms will analyze your responses. They'll
Hmm.
give you feedback on things like your body language, your tone of voice, even the content of your answers.
That's incredible. It's like having a practice run with an interview coach before you even step foot in the door.
It's a game changer, for sure, especially in a competitive field like waste management, where first impressions, they really do matter.
Yeah.
So to sum it up, these tools can help you identify the right opportunities, craft a killer application, and ace that interview.
That's a pretty powerful trifecta for any job seeker.
It is, it is. But, while these tools can definitely give you an edge, it's important to remember that they're just that. They're tools.
Right.
They can't replace the hard work, the dedication, and the passion that it takes to really succeed in this field.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Technology can enhance our efforts,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's really our own drive and determination
Right.
that makes the difference.
Absolutely. Speaking of drive and determination, maybe we should shift gears for a moment
Right.
and talk about the day-to-day realities of being a waste broker. Because it's not always glamorous, but it's certainly never boring.
That's what I'm eager to uncover.
Yeah.
We've talked about the big picture,
Right.
but what does it actually look and feel like to be
Yeah.
a waste broker in the trenches? All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Okay.
What does a day in the life of a waste broker actually look like?
Well, picture this.
Okay.
It's 8:90 a.m.
Okay.
You're already sifting through emails. A potential client, let's say a restaurant, is concerned about their rising waste disposal costs.
Okay.
They've heard about these waste-to-energy options, and they want to see if it's a good fit for them.
Okay, so you got a lead.
Right.
What's the next step?
Okay.
Do you jump in the waste mobile and head over there?
Not quite.
Okay.
First things first, you would dive into their current waste audit reports. You need to understand their waste streams,
Oh.
how much food waste, how much packaging recyclables they're generating.
Yeah.
Then you leverage your network research vendors that handle those specific types of waste.
So it's like putting together a puzzle.
Yeah,
Finding the perfect disposal solution for each piece of the waste puzzle.
precisely. And don't forget about the regulations. You need to make sure that whatever solution you propose, it has to align with all those local and federal guidelines.
Right, because compliance isn't just like a suggestion.
Right.
It's the law.
Exactly.
So let's say you've crunched the numbers, you've found a potential match.
Right.
What happens then?
Then comes the art of the deal.
Okay.
You prepare a proposal for the restaurant owner,
Okay.
outlining all the benefits of your chosen solution. Maybe it's connecting them with a composting facility for their food waste, or maybe it's negotiating a better rate with a recycling plant for them.
So it's about finding that sweet spot
Yes.
where sustainability meets being cost effective.
Absolutely. And your day doesn't end there. You might have a meeting with the city council to discuss, maybe expanding composting programs.
Yeah.
Or you could be attending a conference to stay updated on the latest waste-to-energy technologies.
It sounds like a career that really keeps you on your toes.
It does.
You're juggling all these different projects and all these different stakeholders.
It definitely keeps things interesting, and that's what makes it so rewarding.
Yeah.
You're not just dealing with trash.
Yeah.
You're at the forefront of a global movement
Yeah.
towards a more circular economy.
And speaking of a global movement,
Right.
one thing that really struck me during this whole deep dive
Yeah.
was just the sheer scale
Yes.
of this entire waste management industry.
It's huge.
It's easy to forget about the mountains of garbage that we generate every single day.
Right. This conversation has really brought that to the forefront for me.
It's a hidden world.
But it's a world full of these passionate individuals who are working tirelessly
Yeah.
to address this huge challenge of our time.
It's inspiring to know that even in an industry that's,
Yeah.
often associated with garbage,
Right.
there's so much room for innovation,
Absolutely.
creativity, a desire to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope our listeners are taking away from this deep dive.
Yeah.
That a career in waste management, it's not just about hauling trash, it's about creating a cleaner, healthier, more sustainable future
Yeah.
for generations to come.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Mm.
Well, it's been a fascinating journey,
It has.
exploring the world of waste brokers with you.
I've enjoyed it.
Thanks for sharing all your insights.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive informative and inspiring.
Yes.
And if you are feeling fired up
Yes.
about a potential career in waste management,
Yes.
remember those AI tools we talked about?
Yes.
They could be your secret weapon
It could.
in navigating this exciting and evolving field.
For sure. Until next time, keep those recycling bins full and those sustainability goals high.
And we'll catch you on the next episode of The Deep Dive.